Welcome. Today, we're going to explore some of the most valuable Jefferson nickels ever made in the United States of America. In this video, we'll look at the top 4 Jefferson nickels with the highest market values, including rare minting errors, special silver wartime issues, and unique color variations that have become major highlights in the coin collector and investor world. These rare treasures are not just pieces of American history. They're also among the most sought-after and valuable coins collectors are searching for today. So, if you're a coin enthusiast or someone who appreciates the beauty and significance of American currency, this video is for you. Let's get started with the first coin. Money bag. The 1972 D. Jefferson Nickel. The forgotten 5-cent treasure that holds the power to change your destiny. In the grand history of American coinage, there are few coins that whisper their secrets as softly, yet as powerfully, as the 1972 D. Jefferson Nickel. It's a small, humble 5-cent piece that many overlook, an everyday coin that has passed through countless hands, bought coffee and candy, and jingled in pockets for generations. But hidden within this simple coin lies a legend, a secret worth far more than its face value. For those who truly understand its story, the 1972 D. Jefferson Nickel is not just a coin. It's a silent guardian of history, a metallic miracle that can, quite literally, change your fortune overnight. The Jefferson Nickel has always been a coin of endurance and pride. Born in 1938, it replaced the Buffalo nickel and carried the face of one of America's most intellectual and visionary founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, the author of the Declaration of Independence and the third President of the United States. His profile, noble and contemplative, has graced the obverse of this coin for decades. But the 1972 D issue, struck at the Denver Mint, possesses a mysterious aura, a combination of rarity, craftsmanship, and historical timing that sets it apart from all other years. The year 1972 itself was a turning point in American history. The nation was still healing from the turbulence of the 1960s. The Vietnam War, social change, political uncertainty. Yet, in the midst of it all, America continued to produce symbols of stability and identity. The 1972 D. Jefferson Nickel was one of those symbols. It may have been small, but it represented the enduring strength of a country that, despite its trials, still moved forward, minting coins that carried the faces of its ideals. At first glance, the 1972 D. Jefferson Nickel looks like any ordinary 5-cent coin. The familiar copper-nickel alloy that shines like subdued silver under the light, Jefferson's proud face on the front, and his beloved home, Monticello, on the reverse. But to the trained eye, this coin hides treasures in its details. The Denver Mint's D mark beneath the date identifies it as a Western Mint product, crafted with precision in the shadow of the Rockies. Some of these coins were struck with slightly different die varieties, giving rise to rare and valuable versions that collectors hunt for with near-obsessive passion. What makes this coin so fascinating is not merely its design, but its journey through time. Millions were minted, but few survived in pristine, untouched condition. Most 1972 D nickels entered circulation immediately, enduring decades of wear, scratches, and loss of detail. Yet a handful escaped, sealed in bags, tucked away by collectors, or forgotten in vaults. These rare survivors, still gleaming as if they were just struck, are the ones that have become the hidden treasures of the modern coin world. To the average eye, they may seem like ordinary change, but to numismatists, these coins are a potential gateway to wealth. A perfect 1972 D. Jefferson Nickel, graded in the highest condition, with sharp lines, full steps on Monticello, and a mirror-like surface, can command prices that reach into the thousands. Some varieties, marked by subtle double dies or minting anomalies, can fetch sums that seem unbelievable for a coin once worth only 5 cents. In the right condition, it's not just money. It's a miracle in metal. The secret behind its power lies in its craftsmanship. The Denver Mint, known for its speed and volume, occasionally produced coins with fascinating variations. A slightly overpunched mint mark, a weak strike, or even a double die obverse where Jefferson's features appear ghostly doubled under magnification. These rare imperfections are what make collectors' hearts race, transforming ordinary nickels into pieces of history worth small fortunes. Beyond the market value, the 1972 D. Jefferson Nickel tells a deeper story, one of endurance and American spirit. Thomas Jefferson's image on the coin was not chosen merely for his fame, but for what he stood for: knowledge, innovation, and freedom. His estate, Monticello, stands proudly on the reverse, a symbol of intellect and architecture, of a man who believed in shaping the future with reason and vision. Every time the mint struck one of these nickels, it wasn't just creating currency. It was stamping the American dream into metal. And yet, the irony is rich. The coin that once seemed too common to be special has now become a rare symbol of value. Collectors all over the world now realize that the very coins they spent without thought decades ago might be the ones worth a small fortune today. The 1972 D. Nickel story proves that greatness can hide in plain sight, that something as ordinary as a 5-cent piece can hold the key to unimaginable wealth if preserved with care. In a poetic twist of fate, its silvery luster, though born of copper and nickel, gives it a deceptive elegance. Under the right light, it gleams with a ghostly shine, echoing the silvers of earlier American coinage. Some even mistake it for a silver coin, and though it contains none, its brilliance holds a symbolic purity that makes it no less precious. It is, in a way, a coin of illusion and revelation. Plain to some, priceless to others. The 1972 D. Jefferson Nickel is also a reminder that history rewards patience. For years, people ignored these coins, assuming they held no special worth. But as time has passed, the untouched, uncirculated examples have become scarcer, more desirable, and infinitely more valuable. The market for Jefferson nickels has surged as collectors realize how rare it is to find one with flawless, full steps on the Monticello design. Those sharp, well-defined lines that represent perfection in minting. A single such coin can elevate a collection from modest to magnificent. To hold one of these rare 1972 D nickels is to hold a fragment of American endurance, a coin that survived decades of circulation, inflation, and indifference, only to rise again as a beacon of beauty and fortune. It's proof that the smallest things often carry the greatest stories, and that even a 5-cent piece can embody centuries of heritage, struggle, and triumph. In the modern collector's world, owning a 1972 D. Jefferson nickel in top condition is like discovering a star among stones. It glows with quiet confidence, a testament to the timeless value of craftsmanship and history. Its worth doesn't just come from its rarity, but from what it represents, the persistence of a nation's ideals, the evolution of its artistry, and the mysterious alchemy of time that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. So, if you ever find a 1972 D. Jefferson nickel glinting faintly among your spare change, don't dismiss it. Look closer. That small, silvery coin might be the bridge between your past and your future, between luck and legacy. Because sometimes, destiny hides in the humblest of places, and within this unassuming 5-cent piece lies the power to rewrite your fortune overnight. Next up, the 1962 D. Jefferson nickel. The 5-cent coin that holds the spark of American greatness and hidden fortune. In the grand tapestry of American coinage, few coins carry as much quiet mystery and understated power as the 1962 D. Jefferson nickel. Struck in the heart of the Rocky Mountains at the Denver Mint, this 5-cent piece may seem ordinary to the casual observer. Yet beneath its metallic surface lies a world of history, artistry, and hidden value. It's a coin that was born in an era of innovation and confidence, a time when the United States stood tall on the world stage. And for the collector who truly understands its story, this nickel isn't just money. It's a piece of destiny that could one day turn spare change into a treasure chest. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, replacing the legendary Buffalo nickel. It carried a new vision, the noble profile of Thomas Jefferson, a man whose mind shaped the very foundation of America. His image, sculpted by artist Felix Schlag, captured wisdom, dignity, and intellect. On the reverse, his beloved estate, Monticello, stands as a monument to reason and beauty. This pairing of portrait and architecture made the coin a masterpiece of design and symbolism. But by 1962, the Jefferson nickel had already lived through decades of history. Through World War II, through the atomic age, through the rise of a modern America that reached for the stars. The year 1962 was one of quiet brilliance in U.S. history. It was the dawn of the space race, the height of Cold War tensions, and the age of John F. Kennedy's vision for a new frontier. America was a nation of dreamers and doers, and the coins minted during that time reflected its spirit. The 1962 D. Jefferson nickel struck in Denver was more than just currency. It was a symbol of progress, stability, and the belief that the American experiment would endure. Each 1962 D nickel was composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a metal blend that gleamed like silver under light. Though not made of actual silver, its shine carried a deceptive radiance, a brightness that seemed to mirror the optimism of its era. When freshly struck, these nickels shimmered with a luster so pure that they almost seemed too beautiful for circulation. That metallic sheen, cold, clean, and confident, was a reflection of the America of 1962. Bold, unstoppable, and moving forward with purpose. Millions of these coins poured from the Denver Mint's presses, yet not all were created equal. The Denver Mint, known for high production volume, often had subtle die variations, and among these, some rare specimens emerged. Coins with sharper details, crisper strikes, and occasionally, beautiful minting errors. These tiny differences, invisible to the untrained eye, are what transform an everyday 5-cent piece into a collector's miracle worth thousands in today's market. The true magic of the 1962 D. Jefferson nickel lies in the coins that survived untouched. Most nickels from that year were spent, traded, and worn down in daily life. But a select few escaped, tucked away in rolls, saved by chance, preserved in near-perfect condition. These are the coins that now captivate numismatists, their surfaces flawless, their steps on Monticello sharp and complete. Collectors call these features full steps, a sign of perfection in strike, and such coins, even from a common year, command extraordinary prices at auction. Beyond its condition, the 1962 D nickel carries the soul of its time. It was a coin of the working man, jingling in factory pockets and coffee shop tills, passing from hand to hand in a nation on the move. It bought newspapers that carried stories of rockets and revolutions, of presidents and progress. Each scratch and mark tells a story of a country finding its rhythm in a rapidly changing world. To hold one today is to feel the heartbeat of 1960s America still pulsing faintly through metal. There's also a deeper irony that makes this coin so poetic. The Jefferson nickel was once seen as too common to be collectible. For decades, people ignored it, focusing instead on silver coins or older designs. But time has a way of transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. As decades passed, the untouched survivors of the 1962 deminting became scarce, and collectors began to recognize their quiet beauty and historical weight. Now, a perfect specimen can sell for hundreds or even thousands, depending on its strike and luster. This is why the 1962 D. Jefferson nickel is often called a hidden treasure. Its power lies not in rarity alone, but in discovery, in the thrill of realizing that something so small, so overlooked, could hold such immense value. It's the kind of coin that rewards patience and knowledge, a reminder that fortune often hides in plain sight. The coin's design, too, speaks volumes about endurance. Jefferson's gaze is forward, his expression calm yet determined. Behind him, Monticello stands steady, its classical pillars reflecting the ideals of democracy and reason. Every line of the engraving whispers of craftsmanship and pride, qualities that define the American minting tradition of the mid-20th century. And on the lower right of the obverse, that tiny D mint mark, almost invisible, anchors the coin to a place and a legacy. Denver, the beating heart of American coin production. The allure of this coin also extends beyond its material form. In a symbolic sense, the 1962 D. Jefferson nickel represents resilience, the strength to endure through time and emerge brighter with age. Many who stumble upon one in old drawers or inherited coin jars have no idea that it could be worth far more than its face value. For the lucky few who find a pristine version, it feels like destiny, as if the past itself has chosen to reward them. In the modern coin market, the 1962 D. Jefferson nickel continues to surprise experts. Coins in top grades, especially those certified with full steps, fetch incredible prices. Some rare die varieties or double die strikes are so elusive that collectors would pay fortunes to own them. What makes these coins so special isn't just rarity. It's perfection preserved through time, a gleaming survivor of a golden American decade. And perhaps the most beautiful truth about this coin is this: it carries the quiet promise that even the smallest, simplest things can hold unimaginable power. The 1962 D. Jefferson nickel may be small in size, but its story is vast, a story of craftsmanship, endurance, and the mysterious way history rewards what it once ignored. So if one day you happen to spot a bright 1962 D nickel glinting among your spare change, don't overlook it. That coin could be more than a fragment of metal. It could be a messenger of fortune. Hold it, study it, and remember that greatness doesn't always come wrapped in gold or silver. Sometimes it hides in copper and nickel, waiting patiently for the moment it will change your life forever. Because in the shimmering light of the 1962 D Jefferson Nickel, history speaks, and it says, don't underestimate what you hold. For this small piece of America might just hold the key to your fortune. Next up, the 1963 Jefferson Nickel, the last breath of a classic American era and the coin that could rewrite your fortune. There are moments in numismatic history when a simple coin becomes more than just metal. It becomes a time capsule of a nation's heart, a whisper from a golden age preserved in copper and nickel. The 1963 Jefferson Nickel, struck without a mint mark, is one such relic. Forged in the Philadelphia Mint, it was born at the twilight of one chapter and the dawn of another. On the surface, it might seem like an ordinary 5-cent piece, but deep within its metallic skin lives the story of American courage, artistry, and destiny. A story powerful enough to change one's fortune overnight. The 1963 Jefferson Nickel stands as the final issue of an era. It was the last full year before the U.S. Mint transitioned to the modern age of coin production and before the death of President John F. Kennedy, which would forever change American coinage. It carried the legacy of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, whose portrait had graced the nickel since 1938. This coin marks the end of a cycle, a farewell to the old world of mid-century America, to the ideals of craftsmanship that defined a generation before the machines and modernization took over. By 1963, America was at its cultural and political peak. The nation was prosperous, confident, and restless with innovation. It was the year of the space race, of bold dreams and the first flickers of the digital age. And amid all that, the Jefferson Nickel quietly continued to circulate, a small yet steadfast reminder of America's roots, the spirit of independence and reason embodied by Jefferson himself. To hold one of these coins was to touch a symbol of national endurance. The no-mint mark 1963 nickel was struck in Philadelphia, the same city where Jefferson helped forge the Declaration of Independence almost 2 centuries earlier. There's a poetic beauty in that continuity. The city of liberty giving birth to coins bearing the image of liberty's architect. The Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most respected in the world, produced millions of these nickels, yet among them exist a handful so flawlessly struck, so perfectly preserved, that they gleam today with the brilliance of living history. Those coins, untouched by time, are now treasures sought by collectors across the globe. The design itself is an enduring masterpiece. The obverse shows Jefferson's calm yet commanding profile, a statesman's expression frozen in dignity. The reverse features Monticello, his magnificent Virginia estate, rendered in classical symmetry. Its lines are clean, its columns firm, a miniature monument to democracy. The precision of the engraving captures more than architecture. It captures a philosophy. For Jefferson believed in balance, reason, and the beauty of structure. Values reflected in every curve of this coin. Yet, what makes the 1963 Jefferson Nickel so fascinating is not just its artistry, but its rarity in perfection. Most coins were struck for daily use and saw heavy circulation, losing their luster and fine detail. But a few, miraculously preserved in original mint rolls or special collector sets, survived the decades in pristine condition. Among those, some bear an extraordinary feature: the full steps on Monticello's staircase, a mark of a perfect strike. Such coins are exceedingly rare, and when found, they can command breathtaking prices in today's market. Collectors cherish these full-step nickels because they represent the pinnacle of minting excellence. Achieving such detail required perfect dies, pressure, and timing. Conditions rarely aligned in 1963. A single example in flawless condition, certified by experts, can be worth thousands of dollars, transforming an ordinary nickel into a numismatic miracle. But even beyond the physical rarity lies a deeper charm. This coin was minted at a time when the world stood on the edge of transformation. Within months, the United States would face the shock of Kennedy's assassination, the acceleration of the Vietnam War, and the cultural revolutions of the 1960s. The 1963 nickel thus became a silent witness, the last of the innocent coins untouched by the storms that were to follow. It embodies a purity of design and purpose that modern coinage rarely achieves. What many people don't realize is that this coin's metallic composition tells a story of resilience. Though made of copper and nickel, not silver, its alloy gave it a distinctive brightness and endurance that has outlasted generations. Unlike many coins that tarnish or erode, the 1963 Jefferson nickel retains a unique sheen when properly preserved. That glowing silver-like surface is what often misleads those who discover one today, believing they found a coin of actual silver, and in a way they have found something just as precious, a piece of an America that no longer exists. Every 1963 nickel without a mint mark carries the legacy of craftsmanship. The absence of a mint mark signifies Philadelphia, a tradition dating back to the earliest days of the U.S. Mint. These coins flowed through the veins of everyday life, through diners, gas stations, and movie theaters, carrying with them the pulse of American culture. They jingled in the pockets of soldiers, teachers, and dreamers alike, passing silently through history while the world changed around them. Today, finding a pristine 1963 Jefferson nickel is like uncovering a lost relic. Coin collectors and historians treasure it not only for its condition but for the story it tells, the story of a nation balanced between tradition and progress. In auctions, rare specimens have fetched sums that shock the uninitiated, proving once again that true value often hides in plain sight. There's a certain magic to the idea that a 5-cent coin could make someone a millionaire. It sounds impossible, and yet it happens. Every once in a while, a collector discovers a rare die variety or an uncirculated full-step example that sells for tens of thousands of dollars. In that instant, the humble nickel becomes a ticket to fortune, a testament to patience, curiosity, and luck. So, when you hold a 1963 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, you are holding more than money. You are holding the final heartbeat of an era, a symbol of Jefferson's Enlightenment ideals, and the enduring artistry of American minting. You're holding a whisper of the early 1960s, when the country was confident, the future was bright, and every coin told a story of purpose and pride. And perhaps that is why this coin carries an almost mystical aura. It reminds us that greatness doesn't always announce itself in gold or silver. Sometimes it hides in nickel and copper, in the quiet gleam of a coin that has traveled through time to find you. So don't spend it, don't overlook it. Keep it safe, for it might just hold the power to change your destiny overnight. The 1963 Jefferson nickel, with no mint mark, isn't just a 5-cent piece. It's a bridge to America's golden soul. It's proof that the smallest pieces of history can contain the greatest fortunes, both in wealth and in wonder. Next up, the 1943 Jefferson Nickel, the silver miracle from the fires of war that could make you a legend overnight. There are coins that tell history, and there are coins that are history, born from the smoke of war, cast in metal that carried the destiny of a nation. Among them, the 1943 Jefferson Nickel stands like a shining relic from a time when America's strength was measured not just in weapons, but in courage, sacrifice, and innovation. This isn't just a 5-cent piece, it's a silver soldier from World War II, a coin that once helped fuel victory, now capable of transforming the fortune of anyone lucky enough to possess it. The story begins in the heart of wartime America, when every ounce of metal had a purpose. Copper and nickel, the two metals that usually gave life to the Jefferson nickel, were suddenly needed for bullets, tanks, and battleships. The U.S. Mint, faced with the call of duty, made a daring change in 1942. It replaced the standard alloy with a unique wartime composition of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. Thus, the silver nickels were born, coins of necessity, carrying both value and patriotism in every strike. Among these wartime nickels, the 1943 S, minted in San Francisco, gleams brightest. The small S mint mark above Monticello's dome stands as a symbol of distinction, a mark that separated the extraordinary from the ordinary. Each coin struck there bore a silvery hue unlike any before, shining with the quiet glow of wartime resilience. Unlike its copper-nickel ancestors, this coin carried a soul of silver, a metal that spoke of purity, endurance, and timeless worth. The Jefferson Nickel design itself was a masterpiece of American idealism. Sculpted by Felix Schlag, it captured the noble, reflective gaze of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the architect of liberty. On the obverse, Jefferson's profile faces forward with determination, a silent guardian of the nation's democratic dream. The reverse displays Monticello, his elegant Virginia estate, a monument to his intellect and vision. Together, they formed one of the most enduring designs in U.S. coinage, a design that carried America's founding ideals even as it faced its darkest hour. By 1943, the world was at war on all fronts. American soldiers fought on distant shores while families at home rationed food, rubber, and gasoline. Even the smallest materials were precious. Every silver Jefferson nickel that left the San Francisco Mint that year represented not just commerce, but contribution, a symbol of unity in a nation that refused to yield. The silver in those coins was not mere metal. It was a pledge of victory, a piece of the nation's fighting spirit made tangible. Time, however, has a way of turning the practical into the priceless. What was once a simple coin for everyday trade has now become a treasure of immense historical and financial worth. The 1943 silver Jefferson nickel is no ordinary relic. It is one of the few coins whose very existence is tied to the survival of a world. Because of its silver content, many were melted down in later years when metal prices rose, leaving only a fraction of the original mintage intact. Those that remain today, especially in perfect condition, are among the most sought-after wartime nickels ever struck. Collectors recognize the 1943 as a coin of delicate beauty. The combination of silver and manganese gave it a distinct pale luster that, when preserved, shimmers with ghostly elegance. Over time, some develop unique toning, soft blues, golds, and violets that dance across the surface, making each surviving coin a one-of-a-kind work of art. In mint-state grades, especially those showing the full steps on Monticello, values soar to unimaginable heights. A perfect example can fetch thousands of dollars, a staggering fortune for a 5-cent piece. But its value goes far beyond the market. It's the history, the symbolism, the sheer emotional weight of it that makes this coin a legend. The Mint mark links it to San Francisco, a city that during the war was a lifeline for the Pacific Fleet and a gateway to freedom. Each 1943 nickel was born in that very city where ships left for battle and hope sailed with them. To hold one now is to hold a piece of that courage, a silent echo of the men and women who gave everything for victory. The rarity of the 1943 nickel lies not just in its silver, but in its survival. Many were spent, worn, lost, or melted in the years after the war. Some found their way into piggy banks, war bond jars, or hidden stashes, tiny treasures forgotten for decades. Every once in a while, one resurfaces, gleaming faintly through the dust of time, and the world takes notice. Coin collectors, historians, and dreamers alike feel their hearts quicken, for they know that what lies before them is not just metal but magic. And indeed, the 1943 silver nickel carries an almost mystical quality. Its journey mirrors that of the nation it represents, tested by fire, shaped by conflict, yet eternally bright. When you gaze upon its silvery surface, you're looking into a reflection of 1940s America. Proud, determined, and unbreakable. Every dent, every line, every glint of shine tells a story of survival, a whisper from the hands that once used it during times of war and rebuilding. Now, in today's market, the 1943 has ascended to mythic status. Its silver content alone gives it intrinsic value, but its historical significance multiplies that tenfold. Collectors hunt for those perfect specimens, the uncirculated, the untouched, the coins that look as if they were struck yesterday. Such pieces have fetched astronomical prices in auctions, turning ordinary people into millionaires overnight. It's not fantasy. It's the living proof that history and rarity can create miracles of value. And so, this coin, small, simple, yet monumental, continues to captivate the world. It's a testament to human endurance, a reminder that even in war, beauty and craftsmanship can survive. It's the coin that bridges generations, linking the sacrifices of the past with the dreams of the present. If you're fortunate enough to possess a 1943 Jefferson Nickel, hold it close. Don't spend it, don't underestimate it. Its worth lies not just in silver, but in story, a story of a nation at its strongest, of craftsmanship at its finest, and of luck at its rarest. This coin could indeed change your life overnight, not only with its financial power but with the timeless message it carries, that greatness often hides in the smallest of things. The 1943 S silver nickel isn't just money. It's America's heartbeat frozen in metal. It's a glimmer from the age of heroes, a treasure forged in the flames of history, and a living reminder that destiny sometimes fits in the palm of your hand.